game day. It's rivalry week here with the Fan Sports Network crew. Caden Formaster here, getting you ready for kickoff between the Utah Tech Trailblazers and the SUU T-Birds. It's homecoming week, rivalry week. It's all of the things for us here at Greater Zion Stadium. Tonight, this matchup is just about sold out. We're going to see a big crowd filling the stands tonight for this feud on 15, battle for the axe, call it whatever you want. We're excited. It's going to be a fun time to get on into this game and check out this rivalry. Once again, meeting up for, man, we're up to like 5 times, something like that. It's been a bit now that these two teams are going head to head. It helps that they are now in the same division and will continue to be, as next season they will stay in the same division, same conference, I should say, as they go to the Big Sky next year together and keep this feud alive. Let's take a look back at what happened last year for just a moment as we're hopping into the action here. This game last year, final game of the season, it went into double overtime with SUU getting the win, 37-34. So this was a game where both of these teams played really well, played very, very well at the Eccles Coliseum. But ultimately, yeah, it was SUU coming out on top. Now, this has been a game that throughout the last few years, we've seen it split multiple times, but SUU has taken it away more times than Utah Tech has. So right now, it's the Trailblazers trying to go out there, play hard enough, and get the win and bring it back to St. George. And it's tough. It's never easy to go out there and beat the same team multiple times, but can they do it? That's the big question. Can they do it? Can they go out there and get this win again? Now, both teams right now are playing good football, but the records may show something otherwise. SUU has had the opportunity, though, to do something that Utah Tech hasn't, and that is to beat a ranked opponent. They did that last week against Abilene Christian to get their second win of the season. Coming off of a little bit of an injury was Bronson Barron. And this may get confusing. We have Bronson Barbin, quarterback for Utah Tech, Bronson Barron, quarterback for SUU. Bronson Barron's coming off of an injury into this game against Abilene Christian and helps lead them to their second win of the season and first win against a ranked opponent, which was big for the T-Birds. Utah Tech does have a win on the season, but not against ranked opponents. However, they have played ranked opponents very well multiple times this year, including even a few weeks ago against Tarleton State. Now, the big thing here for the Utah Tech Trailblazers is that they're coming off of a bye week. They're able to get some rest. The game before that was a home game as well, so they haven't traveled and been on the road for over 3 weeks now. Been able to sleep in their own beds and get prepped for this game here this week. The bye week couldn't have come at a better time, especially as we are now into homecoming week. So this is a really big opportunity for the Trailblazers against the T-Birds. We'll see what they can do. I mean, they have faced off, as we've said before, multiple times. The last win that they had over SUU was back in 2022. So we have to go back 3 years for the last time that they got the win. But they won it 48-36 at Greater Zion Stadium. One of their better wins that they had that season as well. That was the season that they played SUU twice. They lost the first one in Cedar City, and then they go and they win the second one for homecoming in St. George and went on a 3-game win streak. That was the second game of the 3-game win streak that they had during that time frame, which was really big for them. So we'll see what they do tonight. There's a lot on the line as it is the battle for the axe. So it's not just about winning the game, but it's bragging rights to see which football team is the best to represent us here in the Southern Utah area. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes down tonight. Coming up right now, we're going to head on into an interview that Devin Dixon had on The Drive on Friday morning with Greg Croshaw, who's being honored. He's going to tell you more about it in the interview. So that's coming up. And then we'll be hearing from some of our local players as well for the Utah Tech Trailblazers. Plus, I caught up with Coach Greg Stevens for the Coordinator's Corner. But right now, let's hear from Devin Dixon, Paul Ratliff, and Greg Croshaw.
And here to talk about something inside of the game, which I think is pretty awesome, with our good buddy. He's in the crow's nest. Greg Croshaw joining us now live in studio, gracing us with his presence. If you're watching on our live stream on youtube.com/The Drive, you can see Coach hasn't aged a bit.
Really, where's the camera?
The camera's right in front here. Right there. There you go, looking right at it. See these things on the desk?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'd comb my hair if I had it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you look good in a hat, man. How the heck are you?
Huh?
How the heck are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Real good.
Well, what was the call like when they said, "Hey, we're going to honor you at the football game Saturday"? What was that conversation like?
Kind of started a little bit slow. I mean, I don't know why, but Ken Bees is a long time guy that I've known. I actually offered him a coaching job twice.
Yeah.
And, it didn't work out. He wanted to get in administration. He's done a great job there. But anyway, and then Rod Zundel, I think he was kind of behind some of it. He's probably the best quarterback I never recruited.
Bear River High School?
Bear River High School.
Don't they just run the ball at Bear River?
Yeah, I don't know, but he gets on me all the time. He said, I would have started.
What, did he have to go to Rick's or something?
I think he did, yeah. And he said, I would have started for you. And I said, no, you wouldn't. He said, yes, I would, because I ended up with a wide receiver playing quarterback. I had 5 guys get hurt that season. So I guess by
default,
you kind of would have been.
He probably would have been the starter. Yeah, we actually played a bowl game with a guy named John Smiley, who was a great receiver, but we had to play him at quarterback. And
did you win the game?
Yeah. He pulled it out.
Yeah, so you didn't need Rod after all.
That's right. and then another great Rod story is our son TD was playing in the Vegas Bowl, and he was down there covering it. And I run into him, somewhere on the strip or wherever they were doing all that stuff. And I didn't have a room. And he said, I'll just bunk out in my room. So I went in there. I think I was sleeping on the floor. I get the story screwed up, but I don't think he ever came back to the room. I don't know if I ended up in the bed. I don't know what he was doing. But
on a heater at the tables or something, huh?
Yeah. So he's been a great friend for a long time.
I love it. 214 wins. And that's a lot of wins, Coach. 214 wins.
Yes, it is.
At
and
Dixie.
it's because of obviously great players, but I was fortunate to have two of the best assistant coaches ever anywhere, in Gordon Jolly and Kelly Smith.
Yeah.
And I had them for 22 years. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And they were as big a part of it as anything. And then the kids just kept showing up and they were buying in. And I think we did a better than average job of recruiting. And
you think 17 WSFL titles, 15-5 your postseason record.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kids. That's not, that's players. And you can put them in the right position, but they've got to get, that. They've got to get it done. And one of my most interesting games was I don't know how we did it. A guy that never made a tackle all year for us tackled Corey Dillon when he was playing in Kansas at the end of a game, and we won. And then the next year, Corey played for us.
Yeah.
And that made it real easy. When I had him, that was real easy. I gave him 4 plays? He came in about a week before because he'd left Kansas, and the coach called and said, hey, Dylan's on the bus. And I called his mom and said, when we get to Denver, I got to change buses. I got a ticket to come to St. George. And he did. And we put in 2 plays. And he came in and said, Coach, we got any more plays than this? And I said, hey, Dylan, here's the deal. You run these and we'll talk after the game. And it was sweep and lead.
Left and right?
Yeah. And
that was just a snippet of the interview from The Drive with Devin Dixon and Greg Croshaw. If you want to hear the rest or even see the rest of the interview, you can go to the Fan Sports Network YouTube page. If you go to live stream, Devin Dixon and The Drive, they stream their show every day. Go to the Friday live stream if you want to check out the rest of that interview with Greg Croshaw and see how that all went down, which was a fun interview for them. And good for us to hear just a little bit of it as well. So, all right, we're going to take a break, step aside. When we come back, we're going to be catching up again with Devin Dixon, this time with some of our Trailblazers. We will have Bryce Crowley and we'll have Cody Carlson joining us here inside of Trailblazer Game Day with the Fan Sports Network.
Bryce Crowley with me here, getting ready for what I call the feud on 15. Some people call it the battle for the axe, the Color Country Showdown, the Red Rock rivalry. Call it what you want. What do people in Cedar City, where you're from, Bryce, call the rivalry that's been rekindled between Utah Tech and SUU?
So when I was in high school, Utah Tech wasn't doing it, so we didn't have it. So we didn't have it until I was down here. So
That's right.
I don't know what they call it. I don't really care what they call it. I'm just worried about what we call it.
Yeah.
So
Give me a little player's perspective. How fired up were you guys? You've been in this matchup the last couple of years. This is not new to you. You're from Cedar City. What's the feelings like going against the T-Birds again this Saturday?
No, it's super awesome. You're playing against guys you got all the fans here, people friends from high school, friends from around town. So it's just really fun to get out there and show them what you're made of and show them that we mean business. So it's a good time.
Family requested more tickets than usual?
They did. Yes, they did.
Yeah. Were you able to accommodate that?
I was, yeah.
Are you putting them on the visitor side or the home side?
Hopefully on the home side. Hopefully they don't go over there.
Hey, talk about, your little brother. How did you get so big, an offensive lineman, and your little brother's running around catching passes? You guys are completely opposites.
I know. I don't know what happened. Everybody always asks that. I'm not adopted. I'm not. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I have 3 younger siblings, and they're all tall and skinny. So I don't know where I came from. I guess it was a fluke. I don't know.
I love it. How much fun are the Cedar Reds having this year, man?
Oh,
they got
man.
a real legit shot. They look like they're on a collision course with Morgan for a 3A championship.
Yeah, I think they're number 1 right now. I think this is the first year they've ever been undefeated, if I'm not wrong, maybe at least in a long time. So It's really awesome. I know my brothers are having a good time, so it's cool to see that.
I love it. How big of a family do you have? You said 3 siblings?
Yeah, I got 3 younger siblings. Than
all boys?
No, so I got a younger sister and 2 younger brothers.
Gotcha. I love it. Mom and Dad are your biggest fans?
Yep. They are.
Grandma and Grandpa will be here?
Maybe. I might have some more family or some aunts and uncles and stuff like that. So yeah.
I love it. How's the week of practice been going?
It's been good. It's been a good week of practice. Got an extra day of practice going, and it's been really good. We got a lot of good work in, a lot of good physical work, so we're ready to roll.
How'd the bye week treat you?
It was good. It was good to have a break, let our bodies, recover, and hit the ice bath a couple extra more times than usual. So it was really good.
Bryce, what does an offensive lineman at Utah Tech do on a bye week? Like for an activity, did you get out and catch some sunshine? Did you go play a round of golf, or did you watch some NFL where you don't get to normally watch?
I think I can speak for all of us. I think we slept a lot, and we ate a lot, and we watched a little bit of football. That's probably. That's probably about what all the O-line did this weekend. So
no bass fishers in the offensive line unit, huh?
Me and a couple other guys, we go out a little bit, but not on bye week. Bye week's kind of sacred. You rest on bye week.
Where in town does the offensive line like to eat at? If people around town want to go meet the offensive line at Utah Tech, where are they going to find you at? What restaurant is most likely?
Well, because we're all fat and we like to eat a lot of food. We usually go to Ocean Buffet, a little cheap Chinese buffet in town. Okay. So shout out to them, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
They probably get tired of us rolling around there. So.
I thought you might say Honolulu Grill because it's not far away.
Sometimes, but mainly Oceans. That's
Do you
the
like
place.
the all you can eat?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, man. Hey, talk to me a little bit about the T-Birds. What do you see defensively? They've had some shootouts this year.
Yeah.
Their defense had 4 turnovers last week. They upset number 13 Abilene Christian. Talk about the matchup. Let's talk some strategy. Do you feel like it's a good matchup for you guys?
Yeah.
I know they only got 2 wins and you only got 1, but still a big-time rivalry.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good matchup. I think they're a really good defense. I think they're a really good team. They're stout up front. I think they have a really good defensive line. They just got a new defensive coordinator. So they have a couple different things going on. We saw a couple different things going on in this last game, but I think it's gonna be a really good matchup. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun and come have a good time. So
I love it. Bryce Crowley, Cedar City, born and raised. Did you grow up a T-Bird fan?
Kind of until
lived there, right?
Yeah, I kind of was. And then they were kind of recruiting me, and they said they didn't want me anymore. So I kind of stopped being a fan after that.
I got you. 10-4. Well, Utah Tech's lucky to have you. Enjoy the rivalry game. Shout out to all your friends and family coming to watch you play senior season.
Right.
So
that's right.
Time you blink and it's over, right?
I know. I've been here for 5 years, my 5th year, so it feels like I just got here yesterday. So.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
Yep. Thanks.
Cody Carlson dropping by here, getting you ready for the rivalry game, the battle for the axe. It's the feud on 15, as I like to call it. SUU coming down here, 6 o'clock kickoff to take on Utah Tech. I'm hearing it's going to be a sellout crowd. Cody, how are we feeling getting ready for the rivalry game?
Feeling good, excited. It's always good to be out here for a rivalry game, feel the energy, and get to play.
Tell everybody a little bit about your backstory, how you ended up here. You went into a community college in California and now playing your final season here at Utah Tech.
Yeah, redshirted and played 2 years at Butte Community College in California, Chico, California. Spent a lot of time there developing, and it got me to where I am now.
We were chatting statistics, 23 tackles, TFLs, but you were most proud of some pass breakups, man.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, you got one in mind that you felt like it was a big play to spark the defense?
Definitely the first game of the year, UC Davis got a big one. Quarterback was rolling out of the pocket. I was on contain. He tried to get it over me and broke it up, and I think we got off the field right after.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'd say I'm 6'1".
Okay. You come from a football family?
My uncle played football at Linfield College up in Oregon, and my dad was a big basketball player, but he also played football in high school.
Linfield, don't they have the Spruce Goose there, that airplane?
I think
In that little
so. I
town?
think so.
I've
I haven't
driven through
visited,
that.
so
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
I think I drove through it on the way to Bandon Dunes one time.
Oh, yeah.
Is that in the neighborhood?
It's right around there.
Okay, good stuff. You're not from here. You're from California, but you've been here long enough to know this. I know they have 2 wins. We have 1 win, but this still feels like a big game on Saturday. I know a lot of recruiting battles and bragging rights for the year are on the line.
Definitely. Every game is a big game from now on, but, rivalry games are huge. They're just up the hill from us, so we always want to beat them and bring the axe back down here.
They've got a passing quarterback in Bronson Barron. You're going to try to get after him quickly. And then they got Burns that's been playing a lot more. In fact, played the whole Tarleton game with Barron out. You guys should be used to that 2 quarterback system because you guys practice against Reggie Graff and Bronson Barbin and practice every day.
Yes, sir. All fall camp, we got the dynamic duo, I like to call it. Get a little bit of run, a little bit of pass. So, we know how to handle both and be able to be effective.
What's the mindset for the defense? I mean, you're at home, feed off the crowd, hot start. Like, take me through your expectations for Saturday night.
I mean, defensively, just play to the 111th that we talk about all the time. Everyone do their job. Make sure you're taking care of your responsibility. But I got to shout out my D-line. We playing aggressive this game. We got to set the tone up front because they want to run the ball.
Yeah, Josh Dye's been putting up some big numbers. I'm sure you guys have seen the film.
Excited to see another dynamic running back. We've seen a couple this year, but really just excited to shut him down.
All right, shout out to your biggest fan. Who's your biggest fan? You got family coming in for this game?
Yes, got family coming in. My pops is coming in, but I have to say my fiance that I live with.
Nice. Shout out to the fiance, Cody Carlson. Stop him by. Good luck, and go get him.
Thank you.
It's always good to hear from a few of our Trailblazers as we're getting ready for kickoff between Utah Tech and SUU. Battle for the Axe right here with the Fan Sports Network and with Trailblazer Game Day and, of course, on Trailblazer Sports Vision. We're going to take a break. Step aside. When we come back, I had the opportunity to catch up with offensive coordinator Coach Greg Stevens. That's next. Stick around. It's the Coordinator's Corner here with the Fan Sports Network, getting you ready for game day, Utah Tech and SUU. And inside the studio today, we have offensive coordinator Coach Greg Stevens with me. Coach, We're getting down to it, just counting down the minutes until we've got a good face-off. Southern Utah rivals with SUU and Utah Tech today. Now, this is going to be your second time.
Yep.
Now going head-to-head with SUU, and the last time was absolute fireworks for us as fans. But I know it wasn't the outcome you guys wanted in multiple overtimes. But tell me a little bit about looking back at that last game against that team and against Coach Delane Fitzgerald and what that means now moving forward to this game here this evening.
Well, last year was a hard-fought game. We felt like we had some chances to win the game, and we just didn't get the job done. And so, this year, hopefully we can find a way to get it done. We've had a good couple weeks of practice. We had a bye last week, so we've been able to, practice here for a couple weeks, getting prepared for this game, and our guys have been working hard. But we got to find a way to win games. We've been close in a lot of games this year, been in almost every game other than probably one, in the fourth quarter, and we just haven't found a way to get it done, and that's what we got to do.
Yeah, now I know that one of the big keys is always to win the turnover battle, which that's more of the defensive side, but for the offense, try to get set up in good field position. You guys got that, not last week because you had a bye, but the week before. I mean, first play of the game, the defense is getting you the ball on the 35-yard line, right? So tell me how important it is for you guys to be able to get good field position from the defense to get you started on offense.
Yeah, the field position battle kind of takes, everybody's included in that, the offense, defense, special teams, but it helps, just from a statistical standpoint or analytics, whatever you want to call it. The closer you are when you get the ball, you have a much better opportunity or chance to, get the ball in the end zone and score. But wherever we get the ball, we just need to execute and do the things that, we know we can do. And I think we can move the ball and, put some points on the board.
Now, one thing that Utah Tech has been really well known for, outside of the defense, is really just this 2-quarterback setup, right? Mm-hmm. And rolling with two different guys. And I feel like it's a scheme that a lot of defenses can maybe struggle with because, you see number 5 pop in there with Reggie Graff. There's no guarantee he's running the ball, but you know that he's dangerous at doing that, right? Do you feel like there's good schemes that you guys can put into place because you have 2 quarterbacks that's different than other teams will see?
Yeah, I think at times it can really help us. We've had both of those guys, especially Bronson had some injuries, so we've been off and on with them a little bit. But they've both been playing better, and hopefully, they've had a good week of practice, and hopefully they'll continue playing better. But they both bring different things to the game. Reggie, of course, is athletic, but he can also throw the ball, so teams can't just, load the box and, because I know they're probably worried about, his ability to run the football and those type of things. But Bronson can run a lot better than people think as well. He can do some things with his feet. And, of course, he's a bigger guy with a big arm and those type of things. But I'm looking forward to watching both of them play. I think they're both very well prepared this week. And, like I said, they've had a real good week of practice, and I think they're going to perform well Saturday.
One of the better pieces that you guys have had on the offensive side as skill players go probably has to go to your tight end, Eric Olson. Tell me about his impact on this offense that you guys have seen from him.
Yeah, Eric's had a real good season for us. He's probably one of our, best big play guys we have. He's got a lot of speed, local guy here. And then our other tight end, Caden Eggett's had a real good year for us too. So those two guys have been, two of our more productive players on the offensive side of the ball, and hopefully they'll continue to be so as well.
Absolutely. It is a rivalry week. It's homecoming, and I know that as fans, that's always something to look forward to. I know that there's going to be a ton of fans at the game. Yeah. They've been selling lots of tickets, but for you guys, is there a little bit more of an emotion going into a game like this, where it's a rivalry game, or is it just any other day?
Well, as coaches, you kind of say it's any other day. I really have no idea that it's homecoming, other than our players have to go to different things.
People talk about it.
Yeah,
say, hey,
people.
Sure.
Or who you're playing, but I'm sure it's hard to take the emotion out of rivalry games. The players know it's Southern Utah, and that's a big game for them. And so, yeah, you just got to be able to control your emotions. You don't want to get too high and too juiced up, and where you're making mental mistakes and stuff. But hopefully, we'll be ready to play, and on Saturday at 6:00 when the game starts.
So that based off of past, you guys can score, and that's been something you guys have been able to do a few different times against different opponents this season. But is that going to be an emphasis here? Is outside of just getting the ball in the end zone? Is it try to score fast? Is it try to set a tone? What have you guys really want to do when it comes down to the first part of the game?
Well, coming out early, we just got to execute and do the things that we've been coached to do. And, if we'll execute, and the thing that, maybe we've struggled the last few games a little bit is we've been able to move the ball, but we haven't been able to get it into the end zone. We've had to settle for some field goals, and we got to find a way to get that ball in the end zone. And if we'll do that, every point that you get helps. And then the other thing we got to do is we got to eliminate the 3 and outs. Be a little more consistent, moving the ball. And, it just comes down to we got to have 11 guys out there on the field doing their job. I know that sounds like coaching talk, but, offensive football is so much about executing and doing the right things where, in defense at times you can have 2 or 3 guys doing the wrong thing, but one guy makes a great play. And that, very rarely happens on offense. So we just got to do a good job of executing and doing the things we're supposed to do, and then we'll be fine.
Love it. Coach, appreciate you stopping on in here to talk a little bit of Trailblazer football before we have this rivalry homecoming game against Southern Utah University. So appreciate you again, and best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks for all you do.
Again, that was offensive coordinator, Coach Greg Stevens, who I was able to catch up with earlier and talk a little bit about the game. Coming up in just a little bit, we're about a half hour out from kickoff, so make sure to stick around because we'll have kickoff for you coming up on the radio on the Fan Sports Network, 99.5 FM, 95.3 FM if you're in St. George, and for our Cedar City listeners, 93.1 FM in Cedar City. And that is going to be coming up again on the radio in about half an hour from now. ESPN Plus will have that broadcast for the video as well. But we're not done yet. We're going to be sending it out to Greater Zion Stadium with Rod Zundel in just a little bit, joined by Max Christensen as well. We'll be kicking it to them in just a moment. SUU is in town, taking on Utah Tech. It's a battle for the axe, and maybe it's even a battle amongst families. I know for myself, I am an alum of Utah Tech. I have family. My sister went to SUU. I have a lot of friends and family that went to either place. And so this is one of those games where, the rivalries really kick up even within households. I know we see that a lot with other rivalries in the state, but we even see it here in our Southern Utah schools as well. So it's a pretty exciting time as we're getting into it, about, again, a half hour away from kickoff. As we get on into the final thoughts of this game, I think it really comes down to a few key things. I mentioned this with Coach as well. Win that turnover battle on defense is going to be a really, really big key to the game. And that's something that they did really well against Tarleton, was making sure to get some of those defensive takeaways. But I think the other key is exactly what Coach said. Offensively, it's all about the execution to then make sure that field position, wherever you get it, turns into points, preferably touchdowns. So making sure that you're limiting punting the ball, ultimately, especially 3 and outs. You're limiting any sort of turnovers, especially, but that every drive ends in some sort of points, preferably touchdowns. I think that's going to be a big key for Utah Tech here this evening. All right, going to send it out to Greater Zion Stadium. Rod Zundel, Max Christensen on Trailblazer Sports Vision. I've been Caden Formaster. Thank you for joining me here at the Fan Sports Network crew with SUU Utah Tech coming up.
Hey, win on me! 103! 1, 2, 3! How about that? Touchdown, Trailblazers! Touchdown, Trailblazers! Trailblazers!
Welcome to Trailblazer Kickoff, presented by Camping World of St. George. Your next great outdoor adventure begins under the big American flag.
Let's go!
Bragging rights for all of Southern Utah. A rivalry renewed. We're 30 minutes from kick. Trailblazers and T-Birds in battle for the axe.
Well, this is it. The rivalry game for bragging rights in all of Southern Utah for the next year.
It is Utah Tech and Southern Utah about ready to get at it. Battle for the axe. Hi there, everybody. Rod Zundel along with Max Christensen, former Trailblazer defensive lineman. Well, Max, you wait all year for games like this, and now it's ready to go.
Rivalry week here in Southern Utah, here at Greater Zion Stadium. You know, rivalry week always brings out the best or the worst in people, depending on what side you decide to be on. But yeah, it's always exciting. It's electric. We're excited for the atmosphere here.
This is the 7th meeting in the NCAA era between these two. Southern Utah has a 5-1 advantage. Utah Tech coming in with an overall record of 1-6, 0-3 in the conference. And Southern Utah, they are 2-5 overall. They got their first conference win last week, upsetting 13th ranked Abilene Christian. So they're 1-2 in conference play. So they're feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, they are. It's coming off a big win, and Utah Tech coming out of a bye week. Both teams are feeling okay about themselves. Utah Tech had a chance to refresh. SU had a chance to get a win. It'll be interesting to see how both teams match up because they've had some fairly similar seasons right now up to this point.
They've played a lot of ranked teams, and they've had a lot of one-possession losses in those. 2 weeks ago, Utah Tech lost to number 3 Tarleton State, 42-23. It was a 4-point game in the third quarter, though, Max. They were right there with the top dogs in the country.
Yeah, and they just weren't able to finish. Tarleton State ended up grinding them out. They had a drive, Rod. There was 9.5 minutes, 66 yards. It looked like it was a 100-yard drive.
How do you do that? I didn't know that was physically possible.
Well, we saw it with our own eyes.
Yeah.
9.5 minutes, 66 yards, and a touchdown to just salt the game away. The Trailblazers just were not able to get off the field, and that's going to be a big key tonight.
All right, of course, only 50 miles separating these two, Southern Utah and Cedar City. And even though this is the 7th meeting, really hasn't become a rivalry, right? Because Utah Tech just moving into Division I football. Southern Utah's been there for a while. But last year, the rivalry, I think, Max, it finally come of age. A double overtime thriller. Southern Utah kicking a field goal in the second OT to win it 37-34. Last year, that rivalry actually became a rivalry. Let's take a look back at some of the best moments from that thriller in double overtime in Cedar City a year ago.
Graff, a little jump pass, touchdown, Trailblazers. Graff across the middle, open all in Fulai. He's got it, he's on his way to the end zone. The 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. 81 yards. Across the middle, Fulai, touchdown. Reggie Graff to Eddie Fulai for the third time this afternoon. We're an extra point away from this being a 3-point ball game. It's got plenty of leg. It is up, and it is good! Good! You made a 53-yarder! We're tied at 31! We're going to OT. Ilya Uvedov, 40-yarder to keep this game going, to tie it up. Good, we go to a double overtime. 4th down and goal in the second overtime. Another jump pass. Eddie Fulai. No, incomplete. T-Birds, Jaden Rogers, 36-yarder to win it for the T-Birds. Good! And the T-Birds have won it in double overtime. The rivalry of Southern Utah is born today.
All right, Max, crazy double overtime thriller in Cedar City. And when you play these rivalry games, anything can happen. Records don't matter, of course. We've seen in the BYU-Utah rivalry about every year. Weird things happen, crazy things happen, great performances, and a play here or there that changes the complexion of the game.
Yeah, again, in a rivalry football game, you and I are going to give some amazing analysis, break out down all the numbers, talk about all the great players. But nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Because you throw all that out the window when it comes to a rivalry atmosphere. Because as you said, we've seen the weirdest, craziest things happen throughout the days.
You see players step up. Last year, Reggie Graff stepped up in that double overtime game. 381 passing yards, a career high, 3 touchdowns. He also had a rushing touchdown. Bronson Barbin is going to get the start. He's going to have to be on point, but Reggie's going to have to come in and mix things up as well.
Yeah, Reggie is what makes this dynamic, this offense dynamic. He's able to provide things in the run game. Reggie run right, Reggie run left, the quarterback power, all those sorts of things. I mean, he's been leading the team in rushing for a lot of the season as well, so he provides that run game, but also he's going to have to convert on some throwing downs as well. And Bronson Barber's going to have to hit the easy ones along with taking those shots and open up the offense down the field also.
Speaking of the rushing game, in last year's game, Trailblazers gave up 279 yards on the ground. Cannot have that happen. However, Targi Lamson last year had 164 yards for Southern Utah. They have even a better running back that the Trailblazers are going to have to pay attention to tonight. That is Joshua Dye. Keep your eye on number 28.
Yeah, transferring from UTEP this season. He is number 1 currently in the nation for rushing touchdowns with 15. Number 2 in the country for rush yards per game at 137. And 3rd in the nation in total rush yards at just a tick under 1,000 in only 7 games.
All right, how did the Trailblazers try to at least contain him a little bit?
The run game always starts with the defensive lineman up front. You have to be stout. You can't get moved off your spot. And frankly, they're going to beat double teams tonight as well, which they've done a fairly good job of up front. And the linebackers having to fill those gaps and those holes wherever the running back decides to fit off his offensive lineman.
2 leading tacklers for Utah Tech, Dalen Love, linebacker, and Justin Houston, DB.
Yes.
So they're getting the job done. At least there's some coverage on the back end if they get through. But it's going to be a team effort. This guy's good.
And you can't miss tackles against this guy either.
Yeah.
He does a phenomenal job. You don't have this many rushing yards if he doesn't break tackles. So if the Trailblazers are able to create something with him on first and second contact, it'll be pretty big.
Trailblazers have they're the top 20 in the country in sacks. They have 17. They didn't get a quarterback sack against Tarleton. First time that's happened all year long. So they've got to stop the run and force Southern Utah to throw more than they want to, and then get after the quarterback when they force him to throw.
And that's going to be a key as well. Being able to, of course, any way you're able to affect a quarterback during a football game is massive. With an offense that primarily wants to run it, when they throw it, it's more of a necessity than anything else. So if you're able to get after them when they don't want to throw it in the first place, makes a big difference.
Well, just like Utah Tech, Southern Utah now using a 2-quarterback rotation. Bronson Barron. All right, now we've got to be careful tonight. Southern Utah quarterback Bronson Barron, Utah Tech quarterback Bronson Barbin. What's the over and under? We get those mixed up today.
I'd say 4.
At least,
yes.
But Bronson Barron, he's the quarterback that can throw the ball, averaging 242 yards a game. Will Burns now getting a lot more playing time. He's going to come in and be the running quarterback, kind of like Reggie Graff. He's the second leading rusher behind Joshua Dye.
Yeah, again, these teams kind of mirror each other, not only from how their seasons have gone, but kind of the style in which they play. A quarterback who primarily throws it, or a quarterback who primarily runs it, and they try to be dynamic those different ways on offense too.
Well, of course, Southern Utah got a big upset win at home last week against 13th-ranked Abilene Christian. Delane Fitzgerald, the head coach for the T-Birds, afterwards was asked, now how do you get your guys motivated for Utah Tech? And he goes, really? Are you serious? They don't need no stinking motivation.
We're not going to have to motivate these guys. Most of our team grew up playing against most of their team, and in Phoenix, and in Southern California, and in Vegas, and in Utah, and wherever these guys come from. That all these players are crossovers, and a lot of them from the same high schools. We butt heads with Utah Tech in almost every recruiting battle. If I've got to motivate them this week, Spencer, then they're doing something really wrong with their free time.
He's right. If you have to talk to your team about being motivated, something's wrong.
Especially in this type of week. Football, you shouldn't need any extra motivation to begin with because you got to be a little wired differently to play this game in the first place. But if you need extra motivation against a rival 50 miles away from you, you have an issue. You shouldn't be suiting up in this game to begin with.
Yeah, the problem is just on the flip side, getting too amped up
Absolutely.
too early. I talked with a head coach of the Trailblazers, Lance Anderson, about that. You'll hear his answer coming up in just a little bit. Now, both teams, of course, are very familiar with each other, especially Utah Tech defensive back Devin Perkins. He played his first 3 years here in St. George and then decided to transfer to Southern Utah last season. Didn't work out. So he's back here in St. George, and he is itching to get after his former teammates here tonight in St. George.
Yeah, I've been anticipating this game for a while now, ever since I came back here. I got some good relationships over there with some of the guys, and then it's just going to be a good rivalry, a fun rivalry to play this.
Picked off by Devin Perkins at the 34-yard line.
Do you have a chip on your shoulder against those guys?
Yes, sir, a big chip.
How big and why?
I got something to prove, just to a lot of people over there, a lot of people here, and a lot of people watching.
Devin Perkins with the interception.
This is my biggest game of the season, rivalry week.
With a little extra something.
A little extra something.
Max, how surreal is this for Devin Perkins? You're playing the team that you left for, and you're on the team that you left again for.
Yeah, Devin has had a very interesting journey. One of my teammates when I was playing at Utah Tech, love the guy, fantastic dude. And it's very interesting. He has pretty much more stake in this than anybody else because he's played in this rivalry game every single year of his college career, but on different sides depending on the season.
At least he has kind of the same color red. He didn't have to go to blue or purple, though. Like some other players do when they have to transfer. All right, we're going to take our first time out. When we come back, one Trailblazer that thought he would be playing for Southern Utah right now, he explains what happened, and he gives us a glimpse of his hidden talent. That's when we come back.
If you haven't seen Utah Tech University lately, chances are you haven't seen it at all. With hands-on polytechnic learning across 300 academic programs, 30 new and renovated state-of-the-art facilities, the most affordable university tuition in the state, and 300 days of sunshine. Why look anywhere else? Discover why Utah Tech was recently named one of Education Magazine's 10 prominent universities and colleges to watch. Join us and experience the active learning, active life difference at Utah Tech.
All right, back here in Greater Zion Stadium, counting down the moments until kickoff. The rivalry game, battle for the axe, Utah Tech and the rivals Southern Utah University. Rod Zundel, Max Christensen here. A lot of festivities going on this week because it is homecoming week here at Utah Tech. This morning they got the day started off right with the parade, 10 o'clock, just outside the stadium. Yeah, good turnout, Max, for the parade on University Avenue. It's getting bigger and all the sports teams that were still in town, they were here as well and had a good showing from the students and community. So good times this morning and got us ready for tonight.
Yep, you always love the festivities. Homecoming week's always fun because, you know, it shows that football can be fun, right? We take ourselves seriously a lot of the time, but add some festivities, add some parades, all those sorts of things, and just the community support as well is always big.
Yeah, I don't take myself too seriously. Nobody else does, so I don't either. So, all right, Trailblazers have had 2 weeks to get ready for their rivals for tonight. Bye week after going toe-to-toe with the third-ranked team in the country, Tarleton State. 2 weeks ago, in his 4-point game in the third quarter, they had their chances before the Texans pulled away. Time now to go back 2 weeks ago for the sounds of the game against Tarleton State.
Welcome inside Greater Zion Stadium. Let's play some UAC football. Utah Tech coming in with a record of 1-5, 0-2 in conference.
Breaks, family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Tarleton State, they're coming in on a roll. By Devin Perkins at the 34-yard line. Throw back to his right. He has Eric Olson inside the 20 for a first down. Reggie wanted to throw, nobody to throw to. Reggie grabbed into the end zone. 5-yard touchdown. Trailblazers take a quick 6-0 lead. Open up the second quarter. Across the middle, caught by Shamar Garrett out to the 45-yard line. Again, the slant pass caught. Strong hands, Eric Olson, first down. The little option, Chapman makes a move. Asa Chapman got a first down. 35-yard field goal by Ubido. Ball on the ground, and Utah Tech has recovered. Trailblazers get the football back. Juwan Robinson comes away with the football. He stripped the football as well. Barvin across the middle. Olsen catches that one, and he's brought down at the 45-yard line. 37-yard field goal, Ubido. And with 1 second left in the first half, it's back to a 7-point Tarleton lead. Right through the middle, Chris Street, one of his better runs of the season.
Barvin
Deep down the left sideline, in the end zone, caught, touchdown, Utah Tech. Oh, what a throw and what a catch for Daniel Thomason, his third TD catch of the year. So Utah Tech put up a good fight, but in the end, the third-ranked team in the country, Tarleton State, takes this one here in St. George. All right, a big shout out to our Utah Tech student interns, Ariel Frederickson and Ryan Keith, for shooting and editing and producing our sounds of the game. All right, against Tarleton State, Trailblazers had to go against the Texans, third-ranked team in the country. Tarleton State had 2 drives that we talked about, over 8.5 minutes, took snaps away from Utah Tech's offense. But Trailblazers, besides that, they went toe-to-toe with them. Utah Tech had 3 drives that ended in field goals instead of touchdowns. That's 12 points that you give up right there.
We've talked with Lance Anderson about it ad nauseum almost. Finishing. Yep. Plays, drives, games. That has been the Trailblazers' Achilles heel, and it continues to pop up. If they're able to find a way to finish, they're able to win games. You saw what they did against, who was it?
Northern
Iowa.
Yeah.
When they, from start to finish, were able to finish that game and do all those sorts of things.
They've had 4 games against top teams, ranked teams, where they've had the ball late in the fourth quarter, a chance to tie or win. They didn't finish.
Absolutely.
This could be a monumental step forward if they can do that here tonight. All right. Now, against Tarleton, they had a lot of good things that went well. So for more on that game, let's break it down with head coach Lance Anderson in this edition of Film Session.
Okay, I'm going to start here with one of our key defensive plays from in the second half. This was a very key 4th down stop. You can see that we are in the third quarter, more than halfway through the third quarter. Is a 20-16 football game. So with a stop here on 4th down, we're able to get the ball back to our offense with a chance to take the lead late in the third quarter. So on this particular play, we're going to run one of our simulated pressures where it looks like we're blitzing, where we're maybe bringing more pressure than what we really are. We're blitzing our inside linebacker here, Dalen Love, but at the same time, we're going to drop our defensive end, Dallin Havea, out here. So we're still only going to end up with a 4-man rush. And on this particular play, it's 4th and about 2-3 yards right here. So we knew the ball would be coming out quick. And we're able to get a little push on the pocket here. Ball comes out, and our inside linebacker here, Helaman Ofahengawe, makes an outstanding play on the football to break it up. 4th quarter stop, or 4th down stop, which to me is just like a takeaway here or a turnover in this situation. So let's take a look at it here from the end zone. And again, the key things you'll see here is you'll see us blitz our inside linebacker, Dalen Love. But then our defensive end outside linebacker here, Dallin Havea, he's going to drop into coverage. So we're going to only end up with 4 pass rushers on this particular play. So you see the pressure. We've got pretty good coverage all the way around. And again, the thing to take note of here is just the outstanding play that Helaman Ofahengawe makes here on the football to break this pass up, creating the 4th down stop, and getting us the football back with a chance to take the lead in the third quarter. And the more we can put ourselves in these situations, the more chances we're going to have to be successful. All right, I want to go to the 4th quarter here for one of our plays on offense. And here we're able to score a touchdown and make it an 11-point game here in the 4th quarter. Subsequently, we're able to get a defensive stop and we force a punt. Unfortunately, we fumble the punt. But again, we're putting ourselves in position with a chance to make this a 2-score game and get the ball back in the 4th quarter. Now, this particular play here, one of the things we knew that Tarleton State would do a lot of is play a lot of man-to-man coverage where we knew we were going to get one-on-one matchups out here, especially outside on our receivers, and then just having a free safety here in the middle of the field. On this particular play, Daniel Thomason into the boundary wins his one-on-one matchup with the corner, which we knew was going to be critical against this team, and then makes an outstanding catch here. So again, as the play develops, you see how we've got a one-on-one matchup here, one-on-one matchup here, another one outside here with just a free safety here in the middle of the field. And you can see Daniel Thomason, even at this point, starting to pull away, starting to win this one-on-one matchup with the corner, and we're able to get the ball to him. He makes an outstanding catch, And again, we're able to trim it down to an 11-point game in the fourth quarter. So outstanding catch there by Daniel. Outstanding throw here by Bronson. And let's take a look at it from the end zone. Again, one of the first things you'll notice here on the end zone is we get outstanding protection. From the offensive line, we're keeping our tight end, 80, Eric Olson, in protection. Our running back, Asa Chapman. This gives Bronson time to drop back and make an outstanding throw. And you get a great view of the catch here by Daniel Thomason. And I want to just show that one more time with him making the catch, getting both feet down in bounds, and securing the football, winning that one-on-one matchup. So outstanding play. Again, something that we need more of. Just continue those big plays on offense and then limiting those big plays on defense.
Coach Anderson right there, as you see, shows them exactly what they need to do to win. The Trailblazers just need to be a little bit more consistent, and they're able to pull out a couple of these wins.
Yeah, well, one of the guys that's been consistent his entire career here at Utah Tech, senior offensive lineman Bryce Crowley. He'll be playing the T-Birds for the final time of his career. Bryce is from Cedar City, and he was planning all along to be playing for his hometown T-Birds, but it did not happen. And Southern Utah's loss is, of course, Utah Tech's gain. Bryce Crowley in this edition of Trailblazer Tales.
Hi, my name is Bryce Crowley. I'm from Cedar City, Utah. I'm a senior here at Utah Tech, play center. I have 3 younger siblings. I have a younger sister and 2 younger brothers. My 2 younger brothers are currently playing at Cedar High School. One's a wide receiver and one plays offensive tackle. So in high school, SUU was recruiting me, and when signing day came around, they said they didn't want me anymore. So I moved on, and in May, when I graduated, Utah Tech called me up and said they wanted me down here. So I'm happy to be here and happy to be a Trailblazer. So when I was in high school, Reggie Graff was the quarterback for Dixie High. And I just remember playing Dixie High, and their quarterback, we could never tackle him. I remember I played D-line, and I remember running out and trying to get him, and he just would always fly by. I could never get a hand on him. And now he's our quarterback, and I'm really happy that he's our quarterback and giving other teams problems now. So not me anymore. So I can juggle pretty dang good. That's about it. That's like my only cool talent. Other than that, there's not much. Oh. I got some tennis balls over here. I got some tennis. I do. I have some tennis balls. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Bryce Crowley, as an offensive lineman, Max, you've got to have quick and good hands, and he proves it right there.
Hey, the hand-eye coordination by Mr. Crowley is very impressive. That's something I can do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, props to the big man right there. That is impressive. I freaking love that. And juggling is just so funny, man. I don't know why. Maybe because it's associated with clowns, but Bryce Crowley is no clown. Does a great job as a juggler.
Yeah, good stuff from Bryce Crowley. All right, take a break. Back with a final word from the head coach after this.
If you haven't seen Utah Tech University lately, chances are you haven't seen it at all. With hands-on polytechnic learning across 300 academic programs, 30 new and renovated state-of-the-art facilities, the most affordable university tuition in the state, and 300 days of sunshine. Why look anywhere else? Discover why Utah Tech was recently named one of Education Magazine's 10 prominent universities and colleges to watch. Join us and experience the active learning, active life difference at Utah Tech.
All right, back here in Greater Zion Stadium, about 8 minutes away from kickoff, Utah Tech and the Southern Utah T-Birds. Hey, last night, as part of the homecoming festivities, they had a drone show over the campus. Max, look how cool that is.
There's some of the stuff they're able to do with the technology in the sky these days. Very impressive, really, really cool.
Here comes a cool shot right here. The wide shot over the campus and the baseball diamonds. That is cool. Nice job by the homecoming committee for that drone show last night. Time now for the final word with Utah Tech head coach Lance Anderson.
If you haven't seen...
Coach, a little different energy this week?
There certainly is, especially around campus. Like, again, I think our preparation's been pretty consistent. But, yeah, there's a buzz around campus and the community for sure this week.
Are you concerned about your team getting too high and too amped up for this thing?
No, I think we've handled it well. Again, I think our preparation's been well. Practices have been good this week. We've got a lot out of our meetings. So I think we're ready to play.
All right, what improvement do you want to see against your rivals that you didn't see against Tarleton?
So, defensively, we've done a really good job this year in the red zone, not as good against Tarleton. They had it 6 times down there. They scored all 6 times. So we've got to play good red zone defense. Stopping the run on defense is going to be critical since they run the ball so well. Offensively, we need to finish drives. I mean, 3 field goal drives against Tarleton, had all those been touchdown drives, we would have been right in there. So just, being physical, being able to run the ball on offense, and finishing drives.
Talk about their running game. They got one of the best in the country, and Joshua Dye.
They do. Joshua Dye is, probably the best running back we've played this year. Again, he's a guy we've got to at least be able to slow down to have a chance in this game.
It's going to be a sellout. There's going to be emotion. There's going to be energy.
Yeah,
First sellout that you've been able to play in front of.
Yeah, we're excited about that. I mean, we're looking forward to filling this stadium, having a lot of energy, having the crowd engaged in the game. I mean, that's what the guys love playing in front of. So we're excited about that environment on Saturday night.
You've been involved in a lot of big rivalries in the Pac-12. Talk about this one, and will we see anything different? Maybe everything crazy happens in a rivalry.
They do. I mean, in a game like this, you've got everything ready, whatever it takes to win the game. I mean, that's whatever it's called for. That's what we're going to be ready for. But again, it doesn't need to be anything beyond what we normally do. But boy, we've got to be ready to do whatever it takes to win this game.
2 different teams from a year ago, but when you played them in Cedar City, double overtime, do you take anything away from that?
No, I love the way the guys competed, and we've done that, most of the time this season. And again, that's all I can ask for is, hey, the guys compete hard, we play hard, we fight, we battle, we have a chance in the fourth quarter, or if we need to take it into overtime, we'll do that.
One word for this rivalry.
Just the energy, the emotion. But for us, it's just about we got to fight. We got to fight to find a way to win this game on Saturday.
All right, that's the final word from head coach. Final words from you.
Stop Joshua Dye and finish.
All right. You can hear this game over on the Fan Sports Radio Network. Devin Dixon, Paul Ratliff, and Caden Formaster. Max and I will have it on ESPN+. The rivalry game, Battle for the Axe, coming up. Utah Tech, Southern Utah. Good night, and we'll see you over on ESPN+.